Well, it happened. We got a Breen lockbox. Yeah, wasn't expecting a Breen ship in a lockbox, but we did eventually get one because the TV shows used the Breen in a new way that was different than what we'd seen before. So, new stuff. And it goes in the lockbox because why wouldn't it? Anyway, so this is the Keth Sar ship, which is one of those weird future ships that has floating bits because reasons. Apparently, some sci-fi writers think that looks cool. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, I'll get back to that later. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'll do that now. So, this is a Raider, the first, to my knowledge, ship that has pure universal in a lockbox. I might be wrong on that. I don't remember what all of them are. There's a few things in here that are wrong. One of the Commander Universal slots, because yes, this ship does in fact have two Commander Universal slots. One of them is Intel, the other one is a regular Universal Commander. Still, having two Commander rank abilities is impressive. It does, however, only have 4 bridge officer stations. Now, let's see, tactical engineering, not very much in the way of science, although because it, Commander Universal, you could actually put Gravwell 3 on this thing. It's a pretty, speedy ship. Note how it has weapons and aux as its innate energy stats, no shields or engines. Aux and weapons. Which, again, if you're doing exotic, you want aux power, so hey. Gather intel abilities. Mastery package is something you would expect for a raider. And the Never There Starship trait, which is a distraction trait to keep enemies from shooting at you. Doesn't increase your damage. Doesn't cause you to take less damage directly anyways. Admiralty ship stats plus tack when alone. Sure. Okay. The console power is something convoluted, and from what I've heard, due to the fact that it forces you to be cloaked, doesn't actually work very well because there's normal limitations on cloaking. Bunker Buster is currently bugged and doesn't scale properly. Otherwise it's probably good. I don't know. Something to test out after they fix the scaling, I suppose. This is apparently worded as a clicky power, but it's actually seemingly, let's see here. It's triggered by using a tactical or intel ability. Here's the thing. This feels like it should have an internal cooldown, but I don't know what that is. How long the internal cooldown is probably makes a rather large difference. Again, I don't know what that is. And that's it. I would imagine that, also, this thing, because it is a Breen ship, comes with the old Breen bridge from, things like the Plesh Breck, the Plesh Trowel, and the Sartheln, all of which were event ships, and old event ships from years ago. I think you can get them in some of the bundles, but they haven't done Breen ships as event ships for several years. So a lot of people don't have the Breen bridge as an option. It's not a particularly good bridge in terms of services, but it does look like something you would expect the Breen to use. Anyways, enough of that. This. Yeah, I don't know what this does. Chronophage, though. The inflicting a hold and shields offline on enemies does actually sound rather annoying. I suspect it's probably going to be used more in PvP than TFOs, because causing a target to randomly teleport around the map sounds annoying. if your goal is to just kill everything as quickly as possible. Kit modules are currently bugged so that they're bind on pickup. From what I've heard, the assault drones are not very good. Don't really know anything about the micro singularity generator. Would love to try it out, except I can't buy it on the exchange because they're bind on pickup, and everyone who opened a lockbox had its character bound. The traits for space. Some of these are actually extremely expensive already. Yeah, people have looked at these like, ooh, I want that. Ground. Yeah, Scent of Blood is somehow um less expensive than Resonating Personal Shields. A lot. Not sure why. And Glass Cannon. It's like this one actually is something that if you're doing a weapon focused build, this would actually be pretty good. It's like bonus weapon damage, less shield hit points. Okay, whatever. I didn't need those anyways. Weapons. Okay, these have a proc that is only a 2.5% chance proc, and the percentage on this is interesting because the fact that it's percentage of the enemy's hit points. Now, I said interesting, not good, because it's a 2.5% proc, so you're almost never going to actually have it affect the enemy, and thus, you know, it's only going to actually do much against the bigger targets anyways that already have like a million hit points. Like 1% of a million hit points is a proc for, 10,000 damage, which is actually something, good, except for the fact that it's like a 2.5% proc. So, these weapons are apparently also character bind on pickup currently. They have a similar proc, but it's a 15% chance and still a pathetically small amount of damage. Actually, no, sorry, let me rephrase it. It's a more pathetically small amount of damage because on ground, that amount of damage just really is kind of trivial. Because on ground, you're going to get the procs far less often, which is why it's 15% chance on ground. It's still not enough to actually make it worth it, because like you get it 1 out of, I don't know, like 7 shots. Yeah, 15% is somewhere around 1 in 7 shots. I'm not sure if it's actually per hit or per firing cycle on ground. So if you're using a multi-hit thing, that might actually be worth it. Like a oh, interesting. Split beam, high density beam, rapid sweep. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Compression bolt, stun pistol, and wide beam pistol. I think rapid sweep is like the Section 31 rifle, where the secondary firing mode is an AoE beam that arcs to hit multiple targets. None of those is a rapid fire weapon. So the 15% chance, if it's per hit or per firing cycle, is largely meaningless because they're only going to hit once per firing cycle anyways. That said, wide beam pistols have a very, very short firing cycle. So, zap, 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 zap. And the AoE on a wide beam pistol is actually pretty good. Vanity shield. This is what it looks like on a Federation ship. Honestly, kind of cool. Thing is, this is a very 32nd century Breen vanity shield. This is absolutely not the same way that Breen look in DS9, which is what the current Breen vanity shields are based on. So, very different look from what we had in DS9, but something that is pretty cool. And yeah, I already talked about this. It's like, it's a distraction to get enemies to maybe not shoot at you. Unless you already aggro them, in which case they're probably going to still shoot at you. Because like the way I understand it is like, the threat things like this apply is actually pretty feeble compared to threat from outgoing damage. So yeah, good luck getting it to work. All right, two different Breen Renegade themed outfits. Um, yeah, both of these are low buy. They're separate unlocks, which are currently at 160 low buy each. 200 is the, full price, I guess. I don't remember. I think these are actually currently character bind on pickup too. I don't know if they're going to be that way when the bug gets fixed, but as of the current time, you are unable to just, you know, buy these on the exchange. I looked. Neither one of them was on the exchange when I looked. Kind of unfortunate. One thing that's interesting here, though, is that these have a blade, so that if you do a butt stroke and just like hit them with this sharpened blade, yeah, that actually looks kind of painful. Same with this one. It's like has a sharpened edge thingy here. This is actually something you would see in real life on some of the older weapons, where they would have a something akin to a bayonet permanently attached to the end of the barrel. More modern weapons usually don't have that because of the fact that the blade attached to the end of the barrel would make the barrel more heavy and awkward to aim. Anyway, but hey, sci-fi weapons. If it looks cool, why not, huh? And that is it for this lockbox. I'm not sure how many of these things that are currently bugged to be bind on pickup are actually going to get fixed, and I don't think it's retroactive. So I would personally avoid opening these until that gets fixed, which is a real shame because some of the stuff actually looks very cool. Pity. Oh well. See you guys later.